Hello there, guys. I know what you're thinking. I already uploaded an episode of Triage Trauma and Drama this week, and I'm wearing a Superman T-shirt, and Superman opens in 3 days. 3 days. So why am I uploading another video this week? Well, that's because although this channel is usually devoted to EMS and healthcare and medicine and my experience in those areas, my views in those areas, I'm also a giant geek and a giant nerd, and I am a giant Superman fan. Um, and tonight I get the chance to go see the new Superman movie in IMAX with my husband. And I wanted to talk about that real quick because I've I've tried to stay out of, especially today. Like I mean, I know people got to see it last night and their reactions online. Like I know there's an embargo, but I'm trying not to look at anything. It's incredibly hard. Thank you, YouTube, for to not see some of those things. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the previews and what I've seen so far and what I expect going into this movie. I've loved Superman since I was a kid. I love the Richard Donner movies. I love my adventures or the animated Superman the animated series. Now I really love my adventures with Superman. The Justice League Unlimited, all of those things were kind of my jam. Those were those things that I grew up with and that I really enjoyed about the character. And then I got into the comic books and collecting some of those or reading those adventures, and I just really like the character. Like, I know everyone says he's boring and he's easy to like, but there is a part of him that I think to me and is portrayed that he's always felt like an outsider. And as a gay man growing up, I felt like an outsider a lot of the time. And reading his stories, and that's one way that I connected with him. Many years later, when he had a bisexual son, I was like, "Oh my god, that's fucking amazing!" And he was amazing about it because, of course, he would be amazing about it because he's fucking Superman. But anyway, um, going into this movie, I am cautiously optimistic and hopeful, and I'll tell you a couple reasons why. Number one, I've loved James Gunn, all of it. Like, he took the Guardians of the Galaxy, made me care about them and made me like them. I knew they existed as a superhero team from my reading of the comic books, but I didn't get too much into them. Um, I like his visual style. I like the way he shoots movies. I know he's not for everyone. I get it. Understandable, right? But this is the first time, and again, previews, snippets, that's all we've really seen so far, and that's what I'm talking about when I say this. This is the first time in a long time where I felt like I have seen a Superman that has stepped right out of the pages of a comic book, or a film that stepped right out of the pages of a comic book. The way it looks, what we've seen of the characters so far, you know, it looks really good in my opinion. For a long week, we had the original Richard Donner films, which were great. Then we had the thing with Superman Returns, which no shade to Brandon Routh, but that was an awful fucking movie. I'm sorry if you like it, that's great. I'm glad that you like it. I'm glad it does something for you. But that was a crappy movie from a Superman perspective. You had the weird love triangle. There was a couple, like, he had that weird peeping Tom scene. He didn't throw a single punch. Kevin Spacey was creepy, but I don't know if that's because it's Kevin Spacey is creepy or because it was just a stylized choice for playing Lex Luthor. I don't know. And he was so obsessed with real estate. Like, aside from the one or two kind of big visually appealing scenes in those movies, they were in that movie. It was dull and it was boring. Like, I remember walking out of there going, "Really? Like, we waited this long for a Superman film, and this is what we got?" Like, ugh, it wasn't great. Didn't love it. Fast forward a couple years and we got the Man of Steel. Now, although I liked the Man of Steel and I liked Henry Cavill for his physicality of it, and the action scenes in that movie were great, I was not a super big fan of the gritty undertone. And then, kind of from down there, it kind of went downhill. I liked the first Aquaman movie. I know I'm probably weird in that way, but I did enjoy that one. I loved the first Wonder Woman movie. Amazing. And then I think kind of from that point on that DCEU kind of spiraled down the little rabbit hole that it went down and never really covered. And remember thinking, "Oh great, now we've lost another chance at having a Superman." Certainly one lost a chance at having one that I vibe with and that I connect with, and great. And then we started hearing rumors that they're going to reboot it. We're going to get someone new, and it's going to be a different take. And then Gunn's going to direct it and be the whole head of the DCU and all this stuff. And I was thinking to myself, okay, well, I guess that could work, but I've been burned before, so All right, I'm gonna reserve judgment. They announced David Corenswet. Had no idea who he was. To be quite honest with you, I knew who Rachel Brosnahan was. I knew obviously who Nicholas Holt was. Loved Nicholas Holt. I haven't seen much of Rachel Brosnahan. I think I watched a couple episodes of The Marvelous Miss Maisel, just because I didn't really get into it. Not saying that I thought she was bad at it. Then you start seeing some of the photos come out and some of the people saying things, and at first I was like, oh god, I really don't like the suit. It looks kind of baggy on him. That was in set photos before I had seen any trailer or anything. And then we get that first trailer with the electric riff on the original theme, and I started crying because that to me was harkening back to a time that I knew who Superman was, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the character I fell in love with. That's the character that I like. That's him. And then I saw the suit in action. I'm like, suit doesn't look too bad. Then they told us Krypto was going to be in it, and I was like, oh, Krypto. Like works for a comic book, works for animation. I don't know if that's actually going to work for live action. And what I've seen so far of Krypto so far looks cute, looks amazing, looks fluffy. I'm gonna fucking love that dog. I'm just gonna say it. And the more that we got trailers, the more we got press releases, the more we saw things, the more they talked about it. I grew more optimistic, and by the time we got that 2 week or that three that the trailer they released, the final one when you could buy tickets, I was hooked. This is my Superman. This looks like my Superman. It looks fantastical and upbeat and hopeful and full of life and full of color, and especially right now with all the stuff that's happening in the US where I live and the big beautiful horrible fucking bill that was signed into law, the world needs hope. And that's what he's always felt like to me was hope. So I am hoping to walk into this movie tonight to be entertained, to smile. I'm probably gonna cry. I'm gonna be stupid. I'm gonna be a nerd. I'm probably gonna cry, um, and to feel that sense of hope. Now I will try and post a reaction to it tomorrow or maybe later tonight after the movie. We're going pretty late though. I'll let you guys know what kind of my initial post trailer reactions of it. I probably won't do an in-depth review because I'm not someone who does reviews. I'm not good at them, I don't think, but we'll have to wait and see. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Keep taking care of each other. Take care of yourselves, and we will talk to you next week.